see, what I find is people aren't really opposed.
Yeah, I know.
But they do need a
They need a little push.
A push and a drag.
Yeah. Oh, my God. They're going to keep the outbreak smoldering in the country. It's so crazy. I mean, they're not doing it because they say they don't want to do it. They're Republicans. They don't like to be told what to do.
Right.
All right, guys, so I want to talk about this clip that is going super duper mega viral of Dr. Fauci getting absolutely owned to his face by a common man after Fauci went door to door knocking, trying to get people to take the vaccine during 2021. Now, you guys all remember the claims they were making about the vaccine during 2021 and what it does, and how some of those claims weren't necessarily super accurate. And the common person was skeptical of some of the claims that were being made because of what we were seeing in reality in regards to people who were vaccinated still getting the virus, okay, still getting sick. And people, you know, again, they had questions about the timing of the vaccine in terms of how fast it was developed. They just had questions, okay? People weren't convinced. So Fauci and Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., went around trying to get people, common people, to take the vaccine, and doing one exchange at the end, okay, of this little mini documentary that I found this clip from. This one guy is just kind of not having it, okay? He's going to push back against Fauci and kind of, again, destroy him to his face on this topic. So without further ado, let's get into it.
People in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
Yeah, so I get these are reasonable questions, okay? But apparently, again, in 2021, you weren't supposed to ask these questions. You weren't supposed to ask these type of questions. Now, lo and behold, fast forward, we find out just a few years later that they weren't testing, or they didn't test these vaccines for all the claims that they were making about the vaccine, okay? And again, they told people back then that if you asked these type of questions that you were anti-vax, okay, that you were a conspiracy guy, you were Alex Jones type guy, instead of just a concerned citizen saying, look, I'm just skeptical about the timeline and how fast these things came out. I want to take some time and to make a decision about what I want to do with my body, okay? It is my body, my choice when it comes to killing babies, right? But when it comes to a vaccine, my body, my choice doesn't apply anymore.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it is a thing, right? Regardless of whether or not you took the vaccine, you can still get it and spread it. Which again, you know, during 2021, at first when it initially came out, they were saying the exact opposite. Right? But then once people started taking it and people that was taking it would still get it, they called it a breakthrough case. Well, it's breakthrough. It's breakthrough, right? Until basically it became quite clear that it wasn't necessarily a breakthrough thing, that it was, you know, kind of normal, right? For people to be vaccinated to still actually get the virus, apparently, you know, the symptoms are just less severe or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, this is the type of stuff they were telling people.
The common flu then, right?
And
It's much more serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually, too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none, but the previous year, about 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
Yeah, I mean, COVID is definitely much more serious than the flu. There's really no disputing that. But I think the point that this guy is trying to make is that, well, this is just something that we got to live with, right? The same way that we live with the flu, you know, people get it, you know, people get vaccinated, people, you know, choose not to get vaccinated. You know, we just got to live with it, okay? And we just got to accept that this is just a part of life now, and it is what it is. And we basically have done that, okay? Since 2021, That's what we've done. And it's not the end of the world, right? It wasn't the apocalypse that these people were making it out to be, right? It was not the apocalypse that people were making it out to be. We survived. We made it, right? For the most part. Now, again, unfortunately, some people did pass away from COVID. A lot of people did. It sucks. It's terrible. But humanity, humans, I mean, again, we overcame it, right? Like we got through it. And people, there are a lot of people who chose not to be vaccinated and they're just fine, right? They got the virus, they, got over it, and they're living their best lives. Again, it's a shame that we, at one point, during 2020 and part of 2021, we lived in a society like this. You couldn't even do basic things, okay, without wearing a mask, or, there was a vaccine passport for everything. Again, it's just kind of crazy, man. It seems like a different time, right? But it was really only just a year or two ago.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to the number of people that died, I mean, again, hey, got questions about how they calculate that stuff, because there's a difference between people that died with COVID or people that died from COVID. Again, that was a whole thing, okay? That was a whole debate they was having. People that died with COVID, people that died from COVID, or people that were hospitalized with COVID, or people that was hospitalized from COVID. Again, there was just a whole lot of questions throughout this whole thing.
Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, there's something else going on with that. Something else going on.
It is something going on.
There's something else.
You're right, but I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here didn't get an. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But I won't keep you anymore.
It's okay, because my incentive, y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is. It's a fear. It's fear, this pandemic. That's all it is.
Wow. Yeah. Again, that was a whole different world, man, compared to where we're at in 2023. Kind of crazy. But yeah, as you see there, that guy was saying things I feel like a lot of people in this country feel. And it's a normal response to what we saw happen during 2020 and 2021. It's just a damn shame that people like him, average everyday Americans, were smeared as bad people for simply asking questions or being skeptical of what the government was pushing. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.